Welcome to Cold Brew Finance's end-of-week world currencies, stock markets and commodities deep dive for Friday, June 13th, 2025. Kicking things off, I'm Victoria Cashmore. Major currencies showed broad weakness in the US dollar. The greenback recorded a new yearly low against the euro, closing at 0.8654, down 0.0121. The dollar also hit a new yearly low versus sterling, while showing strong downward volatility against the Swiss franc. Weekly returns highlight the dollar's decline, with the euro pair showing a weekly decline of 1.38%. The Swiss franc and British pound pairs both recorded similar weekly losses, emphasizing broad dollar weakness. Looking at longer-term performance, the dollar-Swiss pair shows the most significant decline, down 12.67% over 10 years. The euro pair has declined 2.52% over the same period, while the sterling pair has gained 14.72%. Among Asian currencies, the dollar-rupee pair stands out with 3 consecutive weekly gains and strong upward momentum. The Singapore dollar reached a new yearly low against the greenback, while the Canadian dollar showed continued strength. Weekly performance shows the rupee pair gaining 0.41%, contrasting with losses in most other pairs. The Canadian dollar strengthened by 0.75% against the greenback, while the Singapore dollar gained 0.62%. 10-year returns reveal the rupee pair has appreciated 33.7%, the strongest performance among these currencies. The Canadian dollar and New Zealand dollar pairs show more modest gains of 10.5% and 16.1% respectively over the decade.
Looking at global stock market tracking ETFs, I'm Max Profit. Norway led the pack with a 4.8% gain to 29.25, hitting a new one-year high amid strong upward momentum. Taiwan and Denmark showed notable strength, rising 3.2% and 1.9% respectively. On returns, Norway stands out with a 30.2% year-to-date gain and strong daily momentum. Taiwan and Denmark are showing consistent weekly gains, with Denmark marking 5 consecutive weekly advances. Looking at long-term performance, Poland shows impressive strength with a 107% 3-year return. Taiwan demonstrates steady growth with a 77.9% 10-year return, while Denmark has gained 113% over the same period. Among underperforming markets, Israel dropped 5.1% to 82, despite recently setting an all-time high. Turkey fell 2.7% amid a strong downward trend, while Germany declined 2.3% after breaking down from sideways movement. Weekly returns show Israel leading declines at -5.1%, though maintaining a positive year-to-date return of 6.4%. Turkey continues its challenging year with a -14.2% year-to-date performance. Long-term performance reveals Turkey struggling with a -31.6% 10-year return, while Israel maintains positive momentum with a 55.2% gain over the same period. Germany shows moderate growth with a 42.2% 10-year return.
Considering commodities, I'm liquidity. Gold futures hit a new all-time high, closing at 3,452.60, up 106 points, with a very strong positive trend. Silver futures reached a new one-year high at 36.35. Aluminum futures showed significant volatility, rising 4.1% to 2,463. Weekly returns highlight gold's strength, with a 3.2% gain, while aluminum posted a robust 4.1% increase. Month to date, silver has advanced 10.1%. demonstrating substantial momentum in the metals sector. Long-term performance shows gold, leading with a 10-year return of 193%, averaging 11.3% annually. Silver follows with a 130% decade return, while aluminum has struggled, showing a slight decline over 10 years. Energy futures showed remarkable strength. Crude oil surged 13.3% to 73.18, while Brent gained 11.6%. Gasoline displayed strong upward volatility, rising 7.6%. Natural gas was the outlier, falling 5.3%. Month-to-date returns show broad strength in energy, with crude oil up 20.4% and heating oil gaining 18.7%. Gasoline continues its momentum with an 11% increase this month. Despite recent gains, the 10-year picture remains modest. Crude oil shows a 22% decade return, while natural gas gained 30%. Gasoline has barely broken, even with just a 5.4% return over 10 years. Live cattle and feeder cattle both hit new all-time highs recently, with 3-year returns of 58% and 75% respectively. Lean hogs reached a new 1-year high, while Class 2I milk continues its downward trend. Rough rice showed consistency with 5 consecutive weekly gains. Soybean futures experienced strong downward volatility despite a positive trend. Oat futures maintained a very strong positive trend despite today's modest decline. In grain futures, rough rice showed strength, gaining 1.5% and marking its 5th consecutive weekly rise. Wheat declined 1.5% to 540.75. Soybean futures experienced strong downward volatility while maintaining a positive trend. Looking at long-term performance, oat futures showed the strongest 10-year ARR at 4%. Wheat has struggled, with a negative 22.5% 3-year ARR, while soybean futures posted modest gains over the decade. In soft commodities, cocoa saw a substantial decline of 12.4%. Coffee and orange juice futures both fell 3.4%. Sugar recorded a new 1-year low, while maintaining sideways movement over the past 3 days. Weekly returns show significant pressure on soft commodities. Cocoa led declines with a 12.4% weekly loss. Cotton bucked the trend with a modest gain, closing up for the second consecutive week, despite maintaining a very strong negative trend. Looking at decade-long performance, cocoa leads with an 11% annual rate of return. Coffee follows at nearly 10% annually. Cotton has struggled, showing minimal gains with just a 0.3% 10-year annual return.
And with that, we conclude another end-of-week World Currency, Markets and Commodities episode. I'm Victoria Cashmore, along with my AI co-hosts Max Profit and Liquidity. Thanks for watching. Look for daily wrap-ups every day just after 5 p.m. New York time. Please like, subscribe, comment, share. Cold Brew Finance is an experimental project with market reports written, narrated and delivered totally by AI, with market data kindly provided by financialmodelingprep.com. Always seek professional financial advice before making any investment decisions. Check into the channel daily for coverage of stocks, crypto, currency and commodities. Thanks for watching.